whisper video. So I had a little bit of feedback after the first video, which seemed quite positive. That was really nice. So I thought I'd do another one for you guys today. I'm not really much of a talker, so I'm going to continue reading for the time being. I'm going to be reading from Fragile Things again by Neil Gaiman. This story is called The Flints of Memory Lane. I like things to be story-shaped. Reality, however, is not story-shaped, and the eruptions of the odd into our lives are not story-shaped either. They do not end in entirely satisfactory ways. Recounting the strange is like telling one's dreams. One can communicate the events of a dream, but not the emotional content, the way that a dream can colour one's entire day. There were places I believed to be haunted as a child, abandoned houses and places that scared me. My solution was to avoid them, and so, while my sisters had wholly satisfactory tales of strange figures glimpsed in the windows of empty houses, I had none, and I still don't. This is my ghost story, and an unsatisfactory thing it is too. I was 15. We lived in a new house, built in the garden of our old house. I still missed the old house. It had been a big old manor house, and we had lived in half of it. The people who lived in the other half had sold it to property developers, so my father sold our half house to them as well. This was in Sussex, in a town that was crossed by the zero meridian. I lived in the Eastern Hemisphere and went to school in the Western Hemisphere. The old house had been a treasure trove of strange things. Lumps of glittering marble and glass bulbs filled with liquid mercury, doors that opened onto brick walls, forgotten toys, things old and things forgotten. My own house, a Victorian brick edifice in the middle of America, is, I am told, haunted. There are few people who will spend the night here alone. My assistant tells of her nights on her own here, of the porcelain Jester music box that spontaneously began to play in the night, of her utter conviction that someone was watching her. Other people have complained of similar things, following nights alone. I have never had any unsettling experiences here, but then I have never spent a night here alone, and I am not entirely sure that I would wish to do so. There is no ghost when I am here, I said once, when asked if my house was haunted. Perhaps it is you who haunt it then, someone had suggested, but truly I doubt it. If we have a ghost here, it is a fearful creature, more afraid of us than we are of it. But I was telling of our old house, which was sold and knocked down, and I could not bear to see it empty, could not stand to see it being torn apart and bulldozed. My heart was in that house, and even now, at night, before I sleep, I hear the wind sighing through the rowan tree outside my bedroom window, 25 years ago. So we moved into a new house, built, as I said, in the garden of the old one, and some years went by. Then, the house was halfway down a winding flint road, surrounded by fields and trees, in the middle of nowhere. Now, I am certain, were I to go back, I would find the flint road paved, the fields an endless housing estate, but I do not go back. I was 15, skinny and gawky, and wanting desperately to be cool. It was night, in autumn. Outside our house was a lamppost, installed when the house was built, as out of place in the lampless countryside as the lamppost in the Narnia stories. It was a sodium light, which burned yellow and washed out all other colours, turning everything yellow and black. She was not my girlfriend. My girlfriend lived in Croydon, where I went to school, a grey-eyed blonde, of imaginable beauty who was, as she often complained to me, puzzled, never able to figure out why she was going out with me. But she was a friend, and she lived about a 10-minute walk away from me, beyond the fields, in the older part of the town. I was going to walk over to her house, to play records, to sit and talk. I walked out of our house, ran down the grass slope to the drive, and stopped dead in front of a woman, standing beneath the street lamp, staring up at the house. She was dressed like a gypsy queen in a stage play, or a Moorish princess. She was handsome, not beautiful. She has no colours in my memory, save only shades of yellow and black. And startled to find myself standing opposite someone where I had expected no one, I said, "Hello." The woman said nothing. She looked at me. "Are you looking for anyone?" I said.